For us, it was really about creating a really interesting cast of characters.
Every character is trying to love. Frequently, they're doing it badly.
If I'm going to do a vampire, a Frankenstein, and a lycanthrope story, I want to do my own version of it.
Well, the characters here are typical of any town, except we're looking at the underbelly and who they are, the dark side.
It takes all the classic monster archetypes, and it reinvents them by actually going back to the root mythology.
The characters that Brian and Lee put together are almost out of a graphic novel. They're so clear-cut and uniform. Together, they fit together as a perfect puzzle, but they're dysfunctional in every way.
I play Olivia Godfrey, and she's the matriarch of this steel town. Olivia's an outsider, and she marries into this very rich family, but that's clearly not where she comes from herself. And her past is completely mysterious. She's a highly manipulative person.
Would there be anything else?
Not yet. She's absolutely frightening, but yet human at times. And, you know, and then are the emotions real, or does she use them to get something out of somebody? You don't know. Do you see me as someone you can trust?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope we don't get to peel that entire onion. I hope that we keep some mystery in her, because to me, that's the fascinating part about playing a character like this.
There's a sadness to Olivia Godfrey because she's in love with a man that she can't have. She's a mom trying to take care of a rebellious teenage son.
If you're proud of your foulness, it's your own mother.
Well, I'm playing Roman Godfrey, who's kind of the prince of the town.
Imagine that whatever comes out of my mouth next is exactly what you want to hear, right?
He's a troubled teenager, to say the least. Has a lot of dark demons that he's battling.
At the request of Olivia Godfrey, I'm placing you under arrest for trespassing on private property. Our mistake.
It's a weapon for my mother. We have her blessing.
Roman
for
Godfrey is basically like a tragic Greek character.
Where Roman is tormented and twisted and doesn't know what he wants.
You have your spells, she has hers.
Just try not to poke your eye out with it.
Peter is somewhat grounded, but incredibly lonely.
He has the wisdom of a man, but the face of a young boy. He has all this sort of taught wisdom, you know, but he's still kind of a child finding his way through the world. And I think, you know, what I really like about Peter is that he's a free bird, you know. He kind of goes by his own wind.
Two main characters are these two boys who literally live on the opposite side of the tracks.
Why do I get the feeling that half the reason you talk to me is the way people look at you when you're talking to me? Peter and Roman's friendship is the complete opposite of unlikely. It's kind of destined.
We have a caller.
Because there hasn't ever been any other human being that has...
We need to talk.
...related to Peter, or Peter has related to, other than Roman.
At one point, does trusting you make me a fucking idiot?
I don't think he has ever had a friend in his life before he met Peter.
It's a love affair. It's a man affair. It's also two people sharing a feeling and emotion, which is something that important is going to happen.
The thing about Linda and her son Peter is that they're gypsies.
I get it, baby, I get it.
And gypsies are...
Because you've never had a friend.
A very insular community, very secretive. They don't trust outsiders. You know, a nightmare starts to happen because my son Peter is under suspicion for the murders. And the last thing we want to have happen is have attention drawn to ourselves.
Alpha Mark. Bravo. Mark.
Action.
Oh. How could somebody do this to a face that's so beautiful?
It's fine. There's no one.
No one. But Akusalea.
The thing is that my son is a werewolf.
Look, last night, you and my mom, you're the only ones who know.
A second girl has been murdered.
I need you to keep it that way.
A lot of the town has this rumor that he is a werewolf.
Who would I tell?
We get together and we have to find who's killing these girls.
Scout's honor.
Each one sees that something is lurking beneath the surface that they simultaneously identify with.
Trying to solve the crime, you know? That's the simplest way you can put it. There's always so much more going on personally for the characters. The motives for each character is completely different, and
What are you doing with my cousin Roman?
what needs to be done.
I play a character called Letha Godfrey, who is 17 years old. She's an only daughter of Norman and Marie, and I guess it very much is a coming-of-age story.
2 waters, please.
One with peppermint, please. Roman is coming to understand his nature, and Peter is coming to understand his. Letha is coming to find her femininity and her womanhood, and she's pregnant.
If you want to have this baby, you need to start acting like a pregnant woman, not some starry-eyed party favor.
Norman Godfrey is a psychiatrist who is part of the Godfrey dynasty.
How was your day?
His father was a steel magnate who introduced steel into the town of Hemlock Grove. He didn't want to be the man at the top of the hill looking down on the small town below counting his money. He wanted to do something good with his life. He's a man of great contradictions, Norman.
He's a guy who is deeply flawed, but still at heart trying to do the right thing.
Norman, how's your family?
Let's assume if normally I don't want you asking about my family, today doesn't change a goddamn thing.
Certainly.
He started having an affair with his brother's wife. And the tragedy for Norman, I think, is that he's in love with Olivia, and Olivia's in love with him.
Yes, sir.
I play a character named Dr. Johann Price. He runs the biomedical facility, and he's kind of been given carte blanche to do whatever he feels is important to do.
What is this?
Exactly what it looks like. J.R. Godfrey saw the world was changing and went biomedical and chose a man who he believed was a visionary in his field.
Oh, my God.
Which is Johann Price.
You...
Now, unfortunately, to many misguided souls, they think that Johann Price is amoral, that he'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. And what they don't realize is that Johann Price operates outside of their petty morality because what he has to say is more important than everybody else's small concerns.
Question mark?
Oh, it's so much fun. Sorry, guys. I can't really recall ever reading about another character like Johann Price. He's similar in certain ways to the archetypal mad scientist.
I suffer from what is clinically described as hysterical strength.
He's similar to Frankenstein in some ways.
Margaret?
These people call me a hero, but that abomination was under my nose the whole time.
Tom Sworn is the sheriff. He's really sort of the heart of the show.
If I really was a hero, I'd go burn that tower to the ground with Price inside.
He's the guy that's holding onto all the kite strings.
Who could have done that?
Who's that kid?
In a hurricane, and trying to keep everything together and going, and really bad things start happening in his quaint little town, which has always been a little weird.
You happen to hear anything last night?
No, sir. It was a quiet night.
What's your name?
So he's trying to piece all these things together, and it just sort of spirals out of control.
I play Christina Wendell, and she's a curious and inquisitive young girl.
What?
Are you a werewolf? He's an outsider, and that's the part that appeals to her. You're weird. And I think she kind of looks up to Peter in a way and admires that he's just free with who he is and comfortable with that.
I'm a patron of the arts.
So basically, Christina sees when she's spying on Peter that he turns into this werewolf.
You won't get away with it, you know.
And so she starts telling other people. And so there's this rumor going on that Peter is the killer.
I'm sorry. What kind of animal has a motive?
It's necessary for a predator to anticipate the evasions of its prey in advance. I am Clementine Chasseur, or should I say Dr. Clementine Chasseur. I love her name. It translates as the merciful hunter. You know who I am? She comes to the town
The dog catcher.
as the mysterious stranger. May I ask how you come to know that?
Small pond.
I kind of consider her the catalyst.
I want you to think about what kind of person you want to be.
To the storyline.
I'm here because people are getting hurt. The more honest you are with me, the more it'll help me do something about it.
She asks the questions that the audience would ask. She snoops around in things that the audience may have questions about.
Trust that feeling in your gut. This thing we're after is not anything close to done.
She believes in werewolves. She's come to chase it, hunt it down, and kill it.
We're not a horror story. We have scary moments, but it's more about the anticipation of what's going to happen. And we're a thriller in a lot of sense. And our story deals with more about who these people are in a human condition. And the human condition can be very, very scary.